for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. First, an update on the network outage we saw yesterday as Rogers say they have now restored services for the vast majority of customers, while their technical teams are working to restore the remaining customers. The Thunder Bay Police Service have also restored their 911 emergency number, but the 911 email will remain in place until cellular service is completely restored. And the OPP say transport truck collisions are on the rise in the province and that most of them have been preventable. Ian Campbell has the details on the newest statistics.
Commercial trucks are the lifeline to our province's economy, our way of life, and right now, the OPP say we could all be doing more to protect them.
Any increase in anything is a concern for us. So seeing that there's an 18% increase from last year at this time, of course, we're wondering what we need to do better. But we're out there on the highways.
Here in the Northeast, the figures aren't much better. There have so far been 381 crashes in 2022 and 6 fatalities. The news doesn't come as a surprise to John Beaudry. He's president of Transport Training Centres of Canada, the largest truck driving school in the country.
I'm surprised it's not more. There was such a reckless disregard for safety and proper certification of the people who are driving. I shouldn't say certification, it's the proper testing and proper knowledge of the people who are driving. It's really reckless what the government is allowing to happen on the roads today.
Beaudry says drivers need an airbrake endorsement on their license. The province has privatized that certification. Last week, the OPP and the ministry pulled almost a third of the vehicles it inspected off the road.
And 20% of the trucks on the road likely have a brake defect that's so bad that that truck should not be on the road. And that should scare people enough to to keep that in the back of your mind as you're driving along, that truck that's behind you may not have the ability to stop as quickly as you'd like it to.
The crash figures come ahead of the Operation Safe Driver campaign. The OPP say they'll be targeting risky driving in and around transport trucks and dangerous behavior.
We really pride ourselves on making sure the highways are safe. So that's our job, and we're going to keep trying to do that.
The big takeaway for police here is that most of this has been preventable, and it's not just transport truck drivers. Smaller vehicles are also at fault. Transport-involved collisions have so far accounted for 13% of all crashes investigated by the OPP this year. Ian Campbell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Thunder Bay city officials participated in the 15th annual Peace Bell ceremony today. Peace Bell was rung at City Hall, and at the same time, a similar ceremony bell has rung in Gifu City and also had a moment of silence and words of condolences for the former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, who was assassinated on Friday. The joint ceremony celebrates Thunder Bay's special relationship with Gifu City, which is one of our 5 sister cities. The ceremony embraces the spirit of peace while commemorating those who fell in the bombing of Gifu City on July 9, 1945. Sister City Advisor Chair Matthew Villela says the city was pleased to have the opportunity to embrace and commit to world peace.
So I think that as Thunder Bay, we need to more international, involving more internationally. Thunder Bay is a great place on earth, and we can contribute more, not just to ourselves and to the world.
Peace is not just a local initiative, it's a worldwide initiative. And every person in the world needs to be able to connect and do citizen diplomacy. And that's what the Sister City program is all about. Citizens working with citizens to make the world a better place. Hopefully a more peaceful place, but a better place in general.
The ceremony called for peace and prosperity for all people by reaffirming our city's commitment to world peace. The Thunder Bay District Health Unit's vaccination site at the CLE Coliseum will be seeing some changes by next month. It's partially a result of the fair and a reduction in the number of necessary vaccine clinics. The fair is scheduled for August 10th to the 14th, aligning with a roughly 2-week break from the health unit's vaccine clinic. Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Janet DeMille, says they expect to be busier after that point, with the rollout of a fall booster shot likely, as well as a vaccine for kids under 5. The health unit is also running routine immunizations for school children. DeMille explains their plans after their early August hiatus.
There will be days, it won't be 5 days a week in general. We are freeing up the Coliseum Clinic for other events that happen because we know that that's an important facility for the community as well. So we will be putting out a more concrete schedule about where people will be able to access and on which days.
The CLE vaccine clinic schedule will be available in late August and September. And flooding appears to be under control in the eastern areas of the Kenora district, including the municipality of Sioux Lookout, which has started to get back to normal. Now the focus is being placed on the what-ifs of the future, as in what if it happens again? Adam Riley has the details.
After an unprecedented spring and early summer flood in Sioux Lookout, things are finally starting to return to normal. Mayor Doug Lawrence says water levels have receded, but not enough to get a full survey of the damage.
But I think the cleanup has also started. The water has dropped 3 feet from its high, and believe it or not, it's still too high for many floating docks to go back in.
Lawrence believes another drop of about 12 inches should be enough for residents, lodge owners, and other organizations to put their floating docks in for the year. While photos and videos taken weeks ago and the water stains on boathouses show how much the water rose, it's images from now that show the lengths the municipality went to protecting residents and infrastructure. The most obvious being on Lakeshore Drive, where the town raised the roadway 4 feet above what it was, as well as work on Wellington Street, which after truck traffic was rerouted due to the closure of the bypass, caused the storm sewer system to fail. Lawrence says, however, there is still more work to be done.
We've done some temporary work. There'll be more deeper work that'll have to be done there at some point later in the summer and fall. And MTO, we're petitioning them to raise the bypass or seriously consider that for a possibility of a future event. So the bypass doesn't have to be closed because of what we hope is abnormal high water, but if it becomes the norm, then the roads will need to be higher.
Lots of damage can also be seen at the Sunset Suites Hotel complex after water crossed the highway onto the property. Work is now taking place inside the buildings to repair water damage. As a result of the flooding and the impacts it had on residents, town officials met with affected neighborhoods to get their thoughts on the situation, which those in attendance Monday were from the upper section of Lakeshore, who expressed appreciation for the efforts the municipality undertook to protect the roadway.
I thought the meeting was very well done. It's fairly small, a dozen people or so. The discussion centered on roads. Now, it's been a very narrow road forever. It's a dead-end road. It used to have a circular drive, but CN closed the crossing, so there's no way in or out except from the beginning where the road comes on.
During the meeting, Manager of Public Works and Infrastructure Jeff Hawley told residents the municipality will try to work with CN regarding the crossing. As well, they will be removing some of the fill used to raise the roadway during the flooding, and will look at trying to widen the roadway on both the upper and lower ends of Lakeshore. Adam Riley, TBT News.
Some Lakehead University basketball players were on hand at a Cole Grand Morgan recently as Lakehead Public Schools capped off its first week of summer programming. Members of the women's varsity team got the kids in motion, running them through a number of skill-building drills. Corey Nordstrom has more.
It's really cute to see how excited they get when they see us.
Members of the LU Women's Thunderwolves basketball team visited Ecole Grand Morgan on Friday, giving lessons to the dozens of kids enrolled in the Lakehead Public Schools summer programming. In addition to the basketball skill development, the young ones from grades 1 to 6 took part in a number of activities to get their blood pumping.
Keeping it super fun is, super important because, they have a lot of energy, but it just keeps them engaged and keeps them having fun, especially on a hot day like today where some of them might not be as comfortable outside because it's really hot, but keeping it fun to kind of distract them, that's the goal.
A few of the kids, like Filza Asif, have already met the players at some of their skills camps and appreciated the extra lessons.
It's quite nice of them to take time from their life and come and teach people basketball when they could be doing other stuff.
And she's not the only one looking to up their game with the high-level coaching. Tyler Phillips already had an idea of where he wants to improve.
To have better ball handling and be able to do layups.
Attendance for those camps by LU shows that the interest in the sport continues to grow, according to Thunderwolves guard Hannah Whalen.
We had like record levels of kids joining the camps for that, and we ended up having to use the new gym just because we couldn't fit all the kids in our gym that we have now. So it's pretty cool because I've never seen that many kids at the camps before. So it's awesome that we can keep expanding that.
And if this day is any indication, they may have helped grow the game even more locally.
It looks really interesting because I know a lot of people that play basketball, so I was like, why not try it? So I tried it and it was fun.
I've never really done basketball also so much. I like the sport. It's cool.
Lakehead Public Schools summer programming runs for the next 2 weeks with a variety of hands-on and educational activities. Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
We're now joined by sports anchor Corey Nordstrom. Trying to keep the hope as the Blue Jays were back in action last night.
I don't know how much your hope is doing, Mitch. They didn't do too well last night, but I'll have the details after the break.